What's up, YouTube world? This is Steven again. It is currently 10:08 a.m. on January 21st of 2024, and I would like to welcome y'all to my 25th video game review. Been a hot minute since I've done one of these. Maneater for the Xbox One. Eat, explore, evolve. Eat your way up the food chain, battling for aquatic supremacy. Experience a full open world action RPG, the first Shark PG. Evolve past what nature intended to become the ultimate apex predator. If you don't want any spoilers, leave now, and if you're still here, well, that's your fault. So, in Maneater, it's a very unique game. It is a shark PG, as it said on the back. Your character is a shark. You are a shark. And it's a really cool game. It's unlike any other. And you start off as a baby shark. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. No, okay, baby shark song. But what they call a pup. So you start off as a pup. You're about maybe 2 meters or so, but not 2 meters. Maybe a meter or a meter and a half big. And you work your way up until you get to the biggest shark you can be. And there's a bunch of different places on the open world map, and it's all, not really all underwater, but a lot of it is underwater, or you have to stay underwater for most of it. And my favorite part of the open world, my favorite area, I guess is the best way to put it, of the open world is definitely the Gulf. And the Gulf is definitely the toughest part of the open world, meaning like based on the level of creatures and stuff, and the I guess higher difficulty of creatures, all the way up to the sperm whale, which is around level 45 or 50, and that is the toughest boss that you gotta face too. Like creature boss, I should say, is the toughest that you face. And the reason I say creature bosses is you face a bunch of like other human bosses and everything. I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, you work your way up. So there's 5 levels of shark that you can be. There's pup, then you get to teen, then adult, then elder, and then mega shark. So mega shark is the biggest, being 9 meters long, so about 27 feet long, I guess is the best way to put it based on feet. And there's different kinds of ways that you can customize your shark too. So you can give it like a different body, different head, a different tail, and different teeth as well. And my favorite, there's 3 different ones I know of. There's the bone shark, the shadow shark, and the bioelectric shark. And I like the bioelectric feature most of all because you get to shock a lot of the fish that are around you as well as eat them. And the higher level you get, the easier it is to eat the lower level fish. So you start off at level 1, and then you can go all the way to level 30. And that's really cool, I think. And you also get all kinds of different collectibles as well in each area. So there's nutrient caches or whatever. There's license plates, and there's landmarks. So there's a bunch of different landmarks, license plates, and nutrient caches in each area. And if you collect all of them in each area, and if you complete 100% of each area on the map, you get different achievements, or for the Xbox One, or trophies for the PlayStation. And it's a really cool thing, I thought. And I managed to complete 100% of the entire map, as well as beat all of the 10 bosses in this game, which gets me to my next point. In order to beat each boss, you have to consume a certain amount of humans in order to become a certain threat level. And once you become a certain threat level, shark hunters will be searching for you, and once they find you, they're going to attack you and shoot you and try to shoot you and do whatever they can to kill you. And if they do kill you, you will respawn in a place called the grotto. There's a different grotto in each of the areas on the map. There's one grotto in each different area section of the map. So I think there's like either 7 or 8 total grottos. And you respawn to, I guess, the closest one where you were killed. And you get to face, like I said, 10 different bosses, Level 10 is of course the toughest. The level 10 boss is of course the toughest, and I really struggled to try to get to level 10. What do they call it? Level 10 infamy. That's it. Level 10 infamy. And yeah, it was just ridiculously difficult. Once it got to about level 8 or level 9, it got really, really tough. And like I said, I used the bioelectric feature for my shark most of this, and that really helped based on offense. The one that helps most on defense is the bone shark, where you get like a bone body, bone teeth, bone tail, bonehead. But yeah, I'd say my favorite though is the bioelectric, for offense mostly. And then, based on the story mode, you get to see how, who's the character that's trying to mainly kill you. The main character of the actual story. Scaly Pete, that's it. Scaly Pete is trying to kill you because you end up eating his son around the beginning of the game. And you end up also eating one of Scaly Pete's arms, and then you also eat one of his legs later on in the story, until you get to the end of the story, and he ends up being the final boss. He's not one of the infamy bosses. He's the final boss in the story mode of this game, and that is a very, very difficult boss battle. If you want my honest opinion, you're going to want the bone shark for this one. You're going to want to give him the bone body, the bone head, bone tail, and bone teeth, because there's some electric stuff on the bottom of his boat, on the bottom of Scaly Pete's boat, which is like a World War II bomber boat or ship or something, and that way it won't be as harmful to you because you have a bone body, and since bone is kind of rocking away, it won't really affect you that much. But the shock is so powerful and you're underwater that it will affect you somewhat, because water is a conductor for electricity. So it will affect you a little bit, but not as much as if you had the bioelectric armor, which I thought wouldn't really affect me that much since I'm already electric anyway, but it did. So get the bone armor for when you fight Scaly Pete, and if you end up losing, and this was a very difficult boss battle for me, by the way, until I got the bone armor, and that was a little less difficult. Scaly Pete will say, "This one's for Kyle," and then spit in the water, and if you do end up beating him, it will go to a cutscene where you jump onto his ship, you kind of hop over to him, and then you lunge at him and get ready to bite him, and then he explodes his ship, which means he pretty much commits suicide, and then he tries to kill you, but in the end, you end up living through it, and you kind of go back to the grotto, I believe, and continue from there. But yeah, that is my review in a nutshell to Maneater. So what did I think about the game overall? I really enjoyed this game. This was, the first Shark PG out of all of them. I do have a few downsides to it, 3 in a way. The first one is, and it's not really that big of a downside, but the first one is if you do end up beating the game, there's not really much of a post-game after it, except for one thing, which I'll get to in a minute. So, swimming underwater for most part and just eating fish afterwards, post-game, it can get really boring after a while. The second part, which was what I was going to get to right now, is, there's a quest called the Truth Quest that you can do also after you beat the game. To an extent, you do 2 different parts, and then you can continue it. However, I didn't know in order to continue it, you have to pay for it. So, they got a sale going on for it right now for $5.99 when in reality it's actually $14.99 to pay for the Truth Quest, and I really didn't like how you have to pay in order to get that extra quest that in order to get the level quest, the extra quest in Maneater, and really didn't like that fact that you had to pay for it, and I wasn't gonna pay for it, so I'm not gonna be doing the Truth Quest for this game. And the last thing that I didn't like is I didn't like how it had a level cap of only 30 when some of the enemies that you have to face are in the levels upwards of 50, 55, and 60. I thought that was very crappy of the producers of this game to do. It made it that much more difficult, and once you got to Infamy level 9 and 10, it made it so difficult to the point where you were dying like almost every minute or two. It was ridiculously tough. You can get up to level 40, but only if you do the truth quest and complete the truth quest. That way and only that way can you get up to level 40, but even then, it makes it very, very difficult to beat the really high level enemies. But other than that, that's my dislikes about the game. But overall, I really enjoyed it. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, Maneater for the Xbox One is getting a 4 for me. Just a few downsides knocked the ranking down quite a bit, but still, 4 is still good in my opinion. Anything under 4 can be kind of on the okay level. But either way, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video game review, and I gotta keep looking at my video game sections to see what other video games I can do a review to, and what other video games I can play. Maybe I have to go up to GameStop or get on Amazon or go somewhere, get another game and do a review on it. But that is my 25th video game review. Kind of hitting a milestone here. Maneater for the Xbox One. If you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. This is Steven signing out.